brewing between late-night host David Letterman and Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. After delivering 2 straight nights of jokes mocking Palin and her family, Palin responded, calling Letterman pathetic. Now the talk show host is trying to clear the air.
Were the jokes in question in questionable taste? Of course they were. Of course. Do I regret having told them? Well, I think probably I do. But you know what? There are thousands of jokes I regret telling on this program.
And here are some of the jokes that sparked the battle in the first place.
One awkward moment for Sarah Palin at the Yankee game. During the 7th inning, her daughter was knocked up by Alex Rodriguez. The toughest part of her visit was keeping Elliot Spitzer away from her daughter. That was the hard part.
Well, Sarah Palin shot back, calling the comments about her underage daughter sexually perverse. Joining us now is Jason Bellini, contributor for thedailybeast.com. Jason, good to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us.
You bet, Nora.
You know, it's interesting. Letterman did not apologize. I think he issued sort of a mea culpa, admitted he was guilty of poor taste. Do you think he went far enough, or were his remarks out of line?
Well, I think he was even reluctant to admit that because, I mean, the kind of jokes he was telling are pretty standard fare for late night television. And as far as the accusation from Todd Palin that he was telling a joke that was about the raping of his 14-year-old daughter, I mean, any reasonable person watching his show would know that he was talking about Bristol Palin, the 18-year-old daughter who was on the cover of People magazine just a week or so ago.
And Jason, I think the confusion flows from the fact that 18-year-old Bristol Palin, of course, was on the Today Show. She, of course, is an unwed mother, but it was not Bristol who was on this trip. It was the 14-year-old daughter, Willow. So I think that's why the Palins thought that he was joking about their young, teenage daughter, Willow. Todd Palin last night, I got a statement from them, and here's what he said about Letterman's mea culpa. Todd Palin said, quote, "Nice attempt by Letterman to draw the heat away from himself. However, Willow was the only one at the Yankees game and the only Palin child included in the photo opportunities with the Giulianis, as was obvious. Regardless of which Palin daughter it was, Bristol, Willow, or Piper, these sexually perverted comments are outside the acceptance of mainstream America." The Palins are really angry at Letterman. He's invited them to be on the show, but I doubt they're going to accept, right? I
mean, I really think that it's faux anger, and Todd Palin was yielding the Palin political weapon of choice, and that is self-righteous anger at the media. And I'm not convinced that that's really going to help them in the future. It's getting kind of old. And at this point, I think that Sarah Palin, Governor Sarah Palin, needs to be concentrating on her policies, what she's going to be talking about going forward. She was just on Sean Hannity's show on Fox, and on that show she was given the opportunity to start talking about, for instance, the budget deficit, and she started resorting again to her platitudes and to cliches and not really addressing issues in a meaningful, thoughtful way. And so these kind of things are a distraction, but I don't think it's going to bring them forward.
Jason, I've thought a lot about this because I did this story for the Today Show. I don't think that Letterman should have been talking about a powerful female politician and using the word slutty. I just don't think that's appropriate. But I also think that the governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, could have used this moment as a teachable moment about women in politics, a teachable moment about making jokes about girls and sex whether you're 18 or 14. And instead, these statements are just so filled with sarcasm that I think she lost the opportunity. You can't control what people say about you, but you can control how you react to that. And I think that was an opportunity why we're covering this, because the way she reacted was not one in which we all could have learned something, I think, from this. Jason Bellini, The Daily Beast, nice to see you again. Thanks so much. All right, straight ahead on MSNBC.